go have a chat with Mr. Hoyle.
So Mr. Hoyle, back again. It's become a regular thing, this. We've analysed the fingerprints on the photo frames and your fingerprints are on them. Why would that be?
You don't think those photograph frames hang themselves, do you? Who do you think put them on the wall in the first place?
Is that caretaker's job?
You might think so, but I have many hidden talents.
So we've got nothing, back to square one.
I know. Why don't we send the envelope back to the lab to check his DNA's on it?
So here we've got the ransom note that was sent to Mrs. Clues. We will be extracting the DNA from it and comparing it against our suspects by genetic fingerprinting.
The technique we're using is called gel electrophoresis. This allows us to compare DNA depending on how far it moves from the start point. Here we are taking the samples of each DNA and putting them in each specific well. Miss Fox's DNA is going in well 1, Mr. Sheldon's DNA in well 2, Mr. Hoyle's DNA in well 3, and Miss Wingate's DNA in well 4. And finally, the DNA from the envelope in well 5. So here we're adding the DNA samples and the buffer solution to the tank. So after leaving the DNA samples for a set amount of time, you can see how they're separating. We can see now that the DNA from the crime scene matches that of suspect 3, which just so happens to be Mr. Hoyle.
Oh my god, the DNA is Mr. Hoyle's!
Let's go get him.
Mr. Hoyle, we know it was you.
Ah, I could have got away with it if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Mr. Hoyle, you're fired.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind